People, Quality and Technology Expo, showing a side of the force you've never seen. You asked for more, and we're here to deliver. Bigger and better than ever before.
We are ready to show you more. Be prepared to be amazed at Transformations Expo 2.0.
Meet our detectives and crime scene investigators. Learn more about the side of the JCF behind the front lines in forensics, DNA and ballistic analysis, and in key areas of force development, capacity building, and transformation. See you at the JCF Transformation, People, Quality and Technology Expo 2.0.
Hello and welcome to JCF Transformations TV, amplifying your mind. Coming to you on day 3 of the JCF's Transformations, People, Quality and Technology Expo 2.0. Live from the National Arena here in Kingston and via our dedicated JCF YouTube channel. I am Christopher St. Patrick Brown, a detective and senior superintendent within the Crime and Security portfolio.
And I am Sergeant Kayla K. Keane, a communicator and digital media manager operating out of the JCF's Constabulary Communication Network. So here we are on the penultimate day of Expo 2.0 on JCF Transformations TV. It has been our pleasure over these past 3 days as we, your committed police force, peel back yet another layer of ourselves so that you can see how we are transforming to serve you better.
Just ahead on Transformations TV at Expo 2.0, we'll be hearing from the sharp minds of the Communications, Forensics and Cybercrimes Division. So get ready to hear from a digital examiner as well as a social media analyst as they walk us through how technology and expertise are helping us to fight crime in the digital age.
But just before, let us go to the head of the Constabulary Communications Network, SSP Stephanie Lindsay, for a quick recap of Day 2 of Transformations, People, Quality and Technology Expo 2.0.
Day 2 of the JCF Transformation Expo, People, Quality and Technology 2.0 was another excellent day. We started the day with the children arriving from the various schools. We have had over 40 schools with their teachers and students here. We even had an impromptu presentation by the St. Richard's Primary School on stage that was very entertaining.
No bullying, no bullying. Respect each other and reject a lot of time. We look up to each other. We don't want to find some. No bullying, no bullying.
The highlight of the day was the visit by our Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Ones, and he came and he was very engaged in the tour. He toured a lot of the booths and got one-on-one information from the police officers who were manning the different displays. And he actually spent a lot of time in the technology department. Then he went on to see the other things. So I think based on the feedback that we have gotten and the expression, he was very pleased to see how the people, quality and technology aspect of the JCF really showed up at the Expo. And I think at the end of it, he had high commendation of how he felt about the transformation in the JCF and how satisfied he was that they're actually providing the support for us to be that force for good. He also spent some time and engaged in the show that was held where he saw a simultaneous coordinated operation that was happening simultaneously in Kingston and Montego Bay. And what he saw there, we could judge from the expression of his on his face. He was very engaged and he enjoyed the show. So that was Day 2 of Transformation Expo, People, Quality and Technology 2.0.
So thank you very much for that comprehensive capture of Day 2 of Expo 2.0. Stephanie, certainly it was a pleasure hearing from you. Now let's have a conversation with the Operations Officer of the Communications, Forensics and Cybercrimes Division. With me today, ASP Kamar Smith. Welcome to JCF Transformation TV.
Thank you, SSP.
All right. So, the JCF's Transformation Expo emphasizes people as a core pillar. As a digital analyst, Mr. Smith, how do your efforts as looking at data analysts help the investigator to support investigations? How do you believe it has been doing that?
So, as the forensic experts, we provide and supply to investigators that data, the ones and zeros that are not challenged in court. We provide that data that tells a narrative. It shows uncontestable facts that we use to guide these investigators to tell the story and provide that evidence that is generally used to provide that conviction for the win.
All right. So, digital landscape, providing that kind of forensic evidence to support investigators. I want for you to share with the public audience what drew you specifically to becoming a digital analyst, and certainly your operations officer now at the Cybercrimes Forensics Division. What unique aspects of your work appeal to you, would you say?
I would say that level of investigative analysis, that level of data analytics, pursuing, uncovering the truth, to basically, as I said before, uncover the truth, using those ones and zeros. And it is doing it in a scientific method, or a scientific way, wherein that these results must be replicable at international forensic standards.
Good. So you're talking about forensic standards and ensuring that the data is accurate and reliable, and I'm really liking what I'm hearing. What would you say to persons who are out there, who would like to join the JCF and especially serve as a digital analyst? What would you say to them?
The first thing is to have that passion and be diligent. This era requires a lot of hard work, determination. It takes long hours, and you have to keep abreast of emerging trends and emerging technologies. These digital forensic field and landscape is a very dynamic one which requires continuous learning. And by extension, the JCF, which is a learning organization, this definitely, the Forensic Services branch, definitely is an extension of this.
Right. So again, thank you very much, Assistant Superintendent Kamar Smith, for your keen insights. Our Transformations TV audience certainly now have a great understanding, I know, of what it takes to be a digital analyst and an examiner, and of course, leading operations there at the CFCD. It's now time for a break, and this, ladies and gentlemen, Transformations TV, amplifying your mind. We'll be right back after some messages from our sponsors.
Digicel Business is proud to support the Jamaica Constabulary Force for the second year in a row as technology partners of the Transformation Technology Expo 2.0. This landmark 4-day event, happening June 19th to the 22nd in Kingston and Montego Bay, highlights the JCF's vital role in shaping Jamaica's future through innovation and community safety. As part of our commitment to the modernization and progress in policing, Digital Business is happy to provide the connectivity that powers this year's activities. Together with JCF, we're driving innovation, connectivity, and a safer Jamaica. See you there.
Phase 3 Productions were happy to support the JCF for the Transformation Expo 2.0 as we continue to build a safer Jamaica. From digital policing to upgraded infrastructure and stronger community ties, the JCF's progress speaks to nation building, a value that we both share. As Jamaica's leading media and event production company, we offer services such as live streaming, broadcasting, lighting, staging, and audiovisual services for all kinds of entertainment and corporate events. We stand with the JCF, creating new opportunities for young Jamaicans through creativity and technology, ultimately building Jamaica and creating a safer environment for us all.
Welcome back to JCF Transformations TV, amplifying your mind. Well, as you know, Expo 2.0 has been a hit in the second city. Jamaicans from across parishes such as Westmoreland, Hanover, Trelawney, and St. James have turned out for Expo in large numbers. Let us join the crew in Montego Bay with Deputy Superintendent Sean J. Mitchell. But firstly, let us hear from Corporal Cheyenne Francis, who is attached to the Constabulary Communications Network. She will give us a quick recap of Day 2 Expo 2.0.
Day 2 of the JCF Expo in Montego Bay was what we Jamaicans would describe as festive. We started the day with 2 information pod sessions, engaging our students with meaningful conversations from recruitment and Sissoka. The kiddies were also treated to a boat ride on the coast, you know I'm joking, here at the Montego Bay Community College. They also got the opportunity to interact with service dog Ava. The midday concert, though, was the highlight. Everyone was fully engaged from start to finish. The energy was infectious, and we cannot leave out the firearm assimilation booth, which was busy right through with the students engaging, learning about firearms. And you know we couldn't end the day without the SWAT performance. It was energetic, skillful. Everyone got to experience what it is like being out there in the field. SWAT displayed all of that. So just in case you missed day 1, day 2 of the JCF Expo here in Montego Bay, don't worry. We have day 3 and day 4. So come on out. We're looking forward to see you. And when you come, you know what to look forward to. You're coming down tomorrow, right? Yes, we're looking forward to see you.
Hi, I'm Deputy Superintendent of Police Sean J. Mitchell, and I'm here at the Montego Bay Community College in St. James for the JCF's Transformations Expo 2.0, where we have seen a varying amount of activities from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We had the SWAT demonstration earlier on today, and the crowd was absolutely wowed by the tactical prowess of our officers. And later on, we had the band in performance at the launch of our concert, where we had several hits being reeled out by a number of our officers. Later on this evening, we will have another demonstration from our SWAT officers, as well as hits from the band. The booths are very active. The atmosphere is very ecstatic and persons are enjoying the displays. So if you're in St. James, Westmoreland, Hanover, Trelawney, and as far as St. Anne, please come down to the Montego Bay Community College in St. James for the JCF Transformations Expo 2.0, and we will be here tomorrow for the final day. Thank you, and over to you in Kingston.
Thank you so much to our team in Montego Bay. Now we're continuing our deep dive into the minds behind the badges. I'm here with social media analyst from the Communication Forensic and Cybercrimes Division, Detective Corporal Romain Wilson. Welcome to the JCF Transformations TV. So, there is quite a volume of data that is online, but how does your team focus on enhancing the quality of intelligence gathered from social media?
Thank you for that question. Yes, we do receive a large volume of data from various social media companies, but what we focus on mostly is the accuracy, relevance of the data that we extracted and received from various social media companies. So we have different approaches that we have adopted.
Right.
And one of the approaches that we use is the usage of specialized tools, which I cannot elaborate at this time. The next approach is the continuous training and development of staff.
Right.
And the last but not least is the collaboration of local and international stakeholders, which includes TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, just to name a few.
Okay, so that's interesting because I see where your investigation basically incorporates people, quality, and technology to achieve the best end results. But how does the information gathered through social media directly contribute to making Jamaican communities safer?
All right, so social media investigation plays a critical role in public safety. It allows persons to, firstly, it allows us to detect threats early, such as threats of violence, suicidal intentions, and also criminal activities that persons would put online. Next would be locating missing persons. So we have a tag phrase that we say, if we cannot see them in the physical, we can locate them in the digital.
Right.
And last but not least is community engagement. That is social listening.
Right.
Because we need to know what the people are saying and what they are doing at all times.
Okay, that is quite interesting. But what if someone wants to become a social media analyst like yourself within your JCF Forensic Service branch? How do they go about doing that?
All right, so firstly, for non-members, you have to apply. apply. Secondly, for members, you have to do application of transfer. And whenever you reach a branch, we will take care of the rest. That's a forensic services branch.
Right.
All training we will provide.
Okay. All right, so that was our very own Detective Corporal Romain Wilson, a social media analyst from the Communication Forensics and Cybercrimes Division. Now let's hear more from our dedicated CIB officers as they share their unique journey and experiences in detective work. This includes some of the most common misconceptions about what it is to truly be a detective.
All right, so the misconceptions are a lot. One of the major misconceptions, however, is the fact that detectives they solve cases very easily as they see in TV, movies, and dramas and such. They believe that the cases are usually clear-cut and can be solved within an hour as they see in these series. However, in real time, it's not that way. Sometimes there are some cases that takes months or even years before they are solved. You have some cases that even go cold for many years before an active lead is then found and those cases are solved. So I think that's one of the major misconceptions.
The misconceptions that people have is thinking it's a movie. Seeing that they watch a lot of CSI movies, they think that each case is solved the same day. But it's not like that, because investigations can take us months, years, and sometimes we know sometimes they end up as cold case because it takes a very long time.
Of course, there are misconceptions. As far back as a young police, I can remember, the typical detective you see, you say, oh, well, they're just simply police officers wearing plain clothes, looking fancy, not doing much work. But it is the total opposite. These are hardworking men and women who are required to go above and beyond the call of duty.
A popular misconception that the public or some officers may have is that being a detective, you do not do as much work as the average police officers.
Back then, and even now, some persons used to say that the detectives are all the detectives always dress up in pretty clothes and big gun by your side. But on the contrary, it's a lot of work. It's a whole lot of work as a CIB person. So the misconception is that we just dress up in pretty clothes and travel with guns on our sides.
The hyperbole where it exaggerates what the technology's ability is. Some of it is, for example, where it replaces the human intervention. We're just using the technology, maybe putting the evidence in it. It gives you that instant result within a short space of time. And even some of the ways how the technology is portrayed in terms of what it can do is a bit exaggerated. And so, with that said, I can safely say that for the most part, we in the JCF, we have all the latest technology and abilities in terms of what exists. But because of the CSI effect, the general public might believe that we're lacking in some tools and equipment. So yes, the exaggeration does lead to some misconceptions about the field. The hyperbole where it exaggerates what the technology's ability is. Some of it is, for example, where it replaces the human intervention. We're just using the technology, maybe putting the evidence in it. It gives you that instant result within a short space of time. And even some of the ways how the technology is portrayed in terms of what it can do is a bit exaggerated. And so, with that said, I can safely say that for the most part, we in the JCF, we have all the latest technology and abilities in terms of what exists. But because of the CSI effect, the general public might believe that we're lacking in some tools and equipment. So yes, the exaggeration does lead to some misconceptions about the field.
They sometimes watch
law and order, and they think that a case is solved within a day, an hour. Investigation is actually hard work. It is the open-minded search for the truth, and in so doing, you have to ensure that your ducks are in order, so to speak. So it is a lot more. It requires dedication, it requires commitment, and it requires a little of what I like to boast about, a passion. If you don't have a passion for what you do, you don't do it effectively.
As a country, a lot of our citizens don't know the technology that we have. And my only concern with those technology, comparing it to NSI, is that the returns are not timely. But if we get those returns timely when we send in for information relative to an investigation, then it would be great. And the technology and science that we have working with, you will see some high-profile cases lately that seems unsolvable, and they were solved. Those technologies were applied. But I guess the problem is that it is the amount of requests that we are making from these entities, and it creates a backlog. But the technology, believe it or not, is nearly like NSI.
Well, for me, I know there are many, but for me, I would say they think that we are somewhat like speed, the way you call it, speed chase. That's what we do. We get an investigation, and in a couple of hours or so, we're able to solve the case. Yes, sometimes that happens. But what you need to understand is that detective work or investigation is something that you have to be very meticulous. You may spend hours going through, sifting through. Some cases you don't even have a lead. You may know what happened, but who did it or how it happened, you don't readily have those answers. So you have to spend quite a tidy some time going through to ensure that you are able to cross all the T's and dot all the I's, that the offender or identified perpetrator can have his day in court, and you can be satisfied that you did justice to a case.
I don't know about you, but I'm already looking forward to what tomorrow has in store. If you haven't made it out yet to the National Arena or the Montego Bay Community College just yet, what are you waiting for?
That's right. So there's more to see, more to learn, and certainly more to experience.
Remember to follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at Jamaica Constabulary Force, and on X at Jamaica Constab. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with all the transformations news. I am Sergeant Kayla K. Keene.
And I am Christopher Brown, Senior Superintendent. See you next time on JCF's Transformations TV, amplifying your mind.